Hello Internet, welcome to Jamiljiral. I am Jamil Silva, and in this series I'm talking about the menu system in the Nikon D750. It's the third episode, and now I talked about two options, and today we're going to talk about movie shooting menu. Well, let's start talking about them. As we had previously done something with the options, for the shooting options, the camera will use those configurations here for the movie section. For example, you're going to see that some of them are very similar. It's going to remind us about the options. First, we have reset movie shooting menu. If you press OK, it means that all the things that you set here, all the configurations, all of your the things that you are using now will be lost, and the camera will be set to the factory configurations, and you don't want to do that. Only if you want to sell your camera or something like that. File naming, which is DTS, they are my initials. We did that in the previous option. But if you press here, OK, here we have the same configuration. If you watch the previous episode, you're going to see the explanation how you can change and set this option. That's why I'm not going to explain that. I'm going to save you from this explanation. Let's move back to menu. Well, not there. Let's go to destination. Let's press down here, joystick. Destination, which is set to card number 1. Let's press OK. I can here we have information about the card that I'm using here. Remember, this is moving. I'm talking about moving, not pictures. This is a 64 gigabyte card. It means that in card number 1, which is in slot 1, I can record 2 hours. Let's go again. 2 hours. 31 minutes and 52 seconds. And in slot number 2, I don't have anything because I just have one card in this camera. This camera has 2 slots, but I just have one card in here. So that's why we have information for just the slot number 1, card number 1. Let's come back here. Here, destination, it's selected slot number 1. It means that the movies that I'm going to record now are going to be stored in card number 1. If I had another card in here, I could choose to, and press OK for that, I could choose to store the movies in card number 2, in slot number 2. In this case, it's going to be only in card number 1. Frame size or frame rate. Here we have already the option. If I press here OK, here I'm going to have the quality of the recordings that I'm going to do. Of course, the higher the quality, the more data it will be stored in the memory card. So the less space is going to be available for you. But if you want to take full advantage of this camera, you may want to record in an HD definition in 6 frames per second. But here we have other options, and depending on what you're doing, you can use. By the way, this is a very good camera for shooting, for recording movies. This is a very good one, a very good one. So that's why it's interesting to use the higher option. It's very good. Then I'm not going to explain because we're going to choose quality. The higher the quality, more space is going to be stored in your card. Movie quality, which is set for normal, and I press OK. You have high quality and normal. I think normal is just fine for me, but if I'm working, of course I will choose high quality. And those 2 hours that I have there, 2 hours and 31 minutes, I believe so, would be less than that. Let's just experiment. Let's do that. Let's highlight. Now I want movie quality high. Let's see destination. Just 1 hour now. Can you see it drastically decreased the amount of time that I can record in my 64 gigabyte card. Now, but the quality is amazing. Let's set normal to normal again. If you want to use that high quality is better, you better have at least one 128 gigabyte card in your camera, or at least it's better have an external device to record your movie directly in this device. Let's go to microphone sensibility, which is pressed 18 is the volume of the microphone. Let's press OK. Here I have auto sensibility. The camera will choose for you if it has to be on, high or low. Manual sensitivity, I like that because I want to choose the sensibility of microphone. And microphone off, you're going to turn off your microphone. I am in sensibility. Now actually I haven't recorded movies, just the small ones, not like the other cameras. So I haven't messed it up yet. But if there's an error here, if I go here, I can choose, it goes up to 220. 20 is the limit. It's very high, by the way, 20. And you can go down up to 0 and turn it off. I like to leave it from 15 to 18, which is a good number for me. If you are next to a camera, you don't need that much noise, because the higher the number, you're going to have more ambient sound. Now let's go to microphone off. We don't need that now. Now let's move to frequency response, which is set for wide. Let's press OK and see the options. We have wide range and vocal range. Wide range, it means that you want to record everything around you. And vocal range, it means the camera will try to emphasize only the sound of your voice, which is quite good if you are recording more, focusing more on your voice, on what we're talking about. Now let's go to wind noise reduction, which is on. By the way, I suggest you to leave it on. Let's press OK and see the options. We have the option on and the option off. If you're recording a movie outside and the wind is hitting the camera, it's going to make a noise. And this option here minimizes this problem. The next option that we have here is the image area. Let's press OK to see what we have here. Choose image area, which is FX. It's almost the same thing that we talk about in the picture. And here we have FX and GX. GX is going to use just a small portion of your sensor. And full FX, full frame, is you're going to record using the whole sensor of the camera. You're going to use all the sensor. Of course, if you have an FX camera, you probably want to record your movie in the FX format. Now let's go to Auto GX Crop. The camera can, which is on by the way, but I want to leave this off. The camera will decide if it's better to be FX full frame or if it's better be in TX mode, which I don't think it's a good idea to leave the camera deciding this kind of thing. Now let's go to the next. White balance is just like the shooting options. You have the same as photo settings. Is quite interesting. You can leave in there, but we have the options for auto, incandescent, fluorescent, direct sunlight, and all the options that I explained in the photo shooting. You can go there and check it out again, my explanation about this option. Set picture control, if you press, which is vivid in here, you can press OK. Here I don't suggest you to shoot in monochrome, just like in the picture, because movie is more difficult to change this. If you record in monochrome, it will be in black and white. You have to, I don't know if it's possible to use an editing shooting program to replace its color, because this camera doesn't shoot in a raw format for videos, that's why. But here we have, you can same as photo settings. I think this is the best option. Manage picture control is going to be the same thing. You can fine-tune those just like in the shooting section. Then I'm not going to talk about that again. High iOS. Let's press here normal. I think this is normal is better for video than picture. In the picture I leave in low, but for video you can leave in low. The camera will try to minimize the grains that you will have in your movie while we're shooting a low light situation. So leave it there in normal. I wouldn't leave it in high because it will have that plastic feeling in a person's skin or something like that. Maybe low, normal would be better for videos. Movie ISO sensitivity settings. Let's press OK to see the options. Here is basically almost the same thing that we talk about. And here we have 100 is the sensibility set now for this option. If I press OK or if I press in here, I can choose the ISO that I want for now. For example, let's leave it in 400. But I can also leave in auto ISO. If it's on, I can choose the maximum sensibility, and for example it's set for 10,000. For movie it's quite different when compared to pictures. You can leave it to 10,000, 12,000, but 10,000, 8,000 will be just fine. Now time-lapse photography, which is off by the way. What do we do with this option? Well, you have the option in the picture section to take pictures in intervals. In every 1 second you take pictures, in every 2 seconds, in every 1 minute you take 1 or 2 pictures. And here you're going to do almost the same, but as we're talking about video, after the time that you're going to set for this option is over, the camera will place all the pictures together and make a movie out of them. So let's press OK and see the options. Start, if I press start, it's going to start recording 1 picture at every minute, at every second, the time that I have here. Interval, here you see this. Let's press here to mark the interval. Have hour, minute and second. And here we have 5. It means that in every 5 seconds it's gonna take a picture. And here we have the options. For example, in every 5 seconds it's going to take 1 picture. It's going to last for 25 minutes. Let's go back again. It's OK. And OK. Here I'm just choosing. Let's go back there. Press menu to go back. Let's go back to time-lapse photography. Shooting time. How long? For how long do you want to take pictures? For 2 hours, 3 hours? Once I made a video about flower, opening of a flower. You check that on the internet, you're going to see this video. I used the camera to time-lapse pictures of this old flower. It was very beautiful. The flower, I shoot the flower opening and I used this mode. It's quite good. Let's see the options. Exposure, exposure smoothings. The camera will try to minimize any problems during the transitions. You can leave it on. I think there's no problem with that. Well, okay. Interval, in 5 seconds I'm going to take a picture. Let's go back there in menu. Shooting time, I want to... Shooting time, I don't remember if I explained this quite well. Shooting time, it means that I will take the picture for... I take pictures for 25 minutes. Which, by the way, if I go up and down, I can increase or reduce this number. If I press OK, I have to press OK to confirm. If I don't press OK, no changes are going to happen at all. And I think for the movie part is over. Now in our next episode, I'm going to talk about the custom setting menu. And I hope to see you in this episode. I hope I'm not boring with this series, because this camera is a very good camera, and we have such great options in here. And if you have this, if you bought this camera, you don't know anything about photography, you may be lost with all those buttons, all those functions, and maybe this can help you quite a lot. So this is it for now for this part, and I hope to see you in the next section. See you, by the way, and bye.